Hello and welcome to a yoga class that will release the superficial backline of hamstring and glutes and allows you to connect a newfound space for juicy steps ahead to your core. Let's get started. Namasté. We begin in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Bend your knees to find the tipping forward of your pelvis and a long straight back. You see me releasing my legs here by bending the knees and straightening them with an exhale, working the earth connection deeper into my core. And then I start to lift the heels with an inhale, and with an exhale I draw my heels away from my tailbone without losing the extension of the lumbar spine. So the back is straight and long while I'm working into the back line of my legs. And then from here, with an inhale, lift the right leg. Keep the hips square so you can really access the hamstrings on the left side. Make sure your head is free, still supporting your lumbar spine from your core as you breathe. Try to reach through the top foot and anchor the left foot that's on the floor. With an exhale, bring the right leg down and switch sides. So with an inhale, the left leg comes up, the hips stay square. You're supporting the lumbar spine from your core as you breathe and reach into earth the same as into heaven. Feel free to always bend the lower leg if there's too much tension behind your knee. Stable shoulders rooting through your hands. And then with an exhale, bring the left leg down, regroup. And with an inhale, flow forward into plank, stable shoulders, free neck. With an exhale, descend into Chaturanga, hovering over the floor. Let's go in an enlivening upward dog. Inhale here. And with an exhale through center, using earth, find the still point again in Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog, using the breath pulse. With an inhale, flow forward. And with an exhale, core active, set the knees down and come to the front of your mat in a seated position with your legs out front. Feel free to have the knees a little bit bent at the beginning so you can reaccess your straight lumbar spine. And with an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Feel the full extension, and if your lumbar spine can stay straight, just feel free to straighten the legs as well. With an exhale, let the arms descend over the side. And as with the corkscrew movement, feel this extension that you're creating. With an inhale, bring the right leg into Janu Shirshasana, or what I call Janu Anahata Asana, to not work the back but the back side of your legs. Your right foot touching the inner left thigh. Feel free to bend the left knee if there's too much tension. And with an exhale, straight spine, pelvis tilting forward, emptying. Come into the forward bend here. And you see me shifting from side to side a little bit so I access the back line of my back. And let's start exploring fascial lines by first setting the right hand on the outside of your left foot and drawing with an inhale the left arm up, twisting to the left, and keep the extension, the square shoulders, the sternum lifted. Inhale here, and with an exhale bring the left arm down, regrouping it on the inside of your left leg, and reach with an inhale to the other side facing the right. Inhale here, arm comes overhead, and with an exhale feel that you can push the floor away a little bit with your left arm. Maybe you want to deepen the pose and bring your forearm to the inside of your left leg and go into a bind with your right hand touching your left toes. Keep the extension throughout the spine. With every inhale, working the sternum forward. With every exhale, twisting deeper into the pose, working the shoulders away from the ears. And according to your own personal tibial length, the pelvis might move from a square position in this slightly slanted position. That's totally fine. With an inhale, work still the sternum forward as you see me doing here. And with an exhale, try your best to relax into the pose. Come out with an inhale, right arm rising. And with an exhale, come forward and free your right leg, bringing it out in front. Find again the upright sitting position. You can bend the knees and test your lower back by straightening the legs. And then bringing up the arms again with an inhale. And then with an exhale, this beautiful natural growth corkscrew movement to find the extension of the spine. Let's change sides. Left leg in Janu Anahadasana. Inhale, extend from the moolah, from the pelvic floor to your sternum, walking the hands forward as you exhale. Remember to bend the knee if you need to. And start shifting again from side to side, just to find various lines in your legs, maybe in your back, depending on the roundness. Your back may round a little bit if you have huge ASISs as I do. And try to work the shoulders away from the ears with every exhale, savoring the space you're in for a couple of breaths. Surrendering the head and deepening the pose to your liking by maybe flexing the foot more. And first there is this counter movement as we twist to the right with an inhale. You see me demonstrating an option with my left hand at center instead of the outside of my right leg. Freeing the neck, breathing and reaching. Inhale here one more time, finding full extension. And then with the next exhale, coming back forward again and changing the twist up. Setting the right hand on the inside of my right leg. Inhale, reaching to the back, squaring the shoulders, giving you a smile. And then with an exhale, deepening. Coming up again, regrouping, sensing, maybe you want to stay here or bend the knee. Or if you know your body is able to, also go deeper by touching your left hand to your right foot. And using a push of your right arm against your right leg to deepen the pose and the twist. It's compass, connected to earth. Make sure as you breathe, you work the sternum forward. There's no tension in your head or neck or shoulders. And work the isometric connection between your right arm and the inside of your right leg to find the stairway to heaven, the twisted spine. With an inhale, left arm leads you up, reach, and with an exhale, come forward again. Coming back up to a seated position with an inhale, and with an exhale, free the left leg and enjoy the newfound space in your lower back and legs. Inhale here. Maybe the legs are straight. And with an exhale, slowly let the arms descend, finding this natural growth emanating from earth. And then let's go one level higher, scooting forward on our mat, working the external rotators of our hips that are connected to the backside of our legs by bringing our right leg over our left. And start by activating the watery energy of our kidney by circling our ankle and feeling that we still can support a free neck and an elevated heart here. Relaxing into the tension. And you may even scoot in a little bit further, bringing your heels closer to your pelvis or your heel closer to your pelvis as you breathe and release. Long back of the neck, sternum lifted. Resist the urge to slump or to bring the tension that you're actually working through to other areas of your body, such as your shoulders or your neck. Make sure that you have a solid support from your hands. Bend the elbows if you need to. And then with an exhale, gently move out of the pose by bringing the pelvis a little bit further away from your left heel. And right hand on knee. Just round the spine one more time and pull yourself forward and up. Inhale here. And with an exhale, hug with your left arm, elbow touching the right knee on the outside, your right leg. Then inhale, using the earth, push one more time for sternum elevation, lifting the heart. And with an exhale, twisting away from the midline towards to your right, making sure the neck is not rigid. You can look into all directions and finding a rooting through your right foot, especially the big toe mound and the heel, as you breathe and relax the gluteus area. Come out and forward with an exhale, freeing the right leg, finding an upright position again, and then changing sides. Both knees bend at the beginning. Lean back so you have more space to bring your left leg over your right ankle just underneath your knee, and get used to the stress you're submitting yourself to. And as you scoot in and find the extension of the spine, the heart lifted, using the arms for a push, free again the retinaculum of your left foot by circling the ankle. And using the breath for a release. The body will always invite you. So if it does, deepen. Otherwise, stay where you are. Make sure that you respect your body's boundaries, especially when it comes to external rotation. Your hips are still square. Make sure that when you work your left knee away from your body, there's no twisting or tilting of your hips on the floor. By the trochanter hitting your pelvis, and work on the straight spine. And then after a couple of breaths, gently move out of the position, straightening slowly the right leg, drawing yourself up and forward with an inhale again, and with an exhale, releasing the shoulders before you go into the twist. Feel also free to just use your right hand instead of the elbow. Feel whatever works for your body's dimension. And with an inhale, pushing into earth, find the elevation. And with an exhale, find the twist, your left hip still firmly rooted into the ground. With every exhale, deepen the twist, still savoring the free neck and head, the lift of the heart. Slow, long, deep breaths, unfolding the body. And then with an inhale, turn forward again, and with an exhale, free your left leg. Find this movement as you come into a seated position, upright. Remember to bend the knees if you need to for the straight lumbar spine. Just enjoy Dandasana for a moment. With an inhale, bring the arms up one more time. Feel the rooting and the lifting as you breathe. And with an exhale, let the arms descend, grow. And then let's come over the side and find a regrouping in Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog. Treat gently, rooting the hands, the feet, bending the knees to release the back line, and finding center as you extend them again with an exhale. Inhale, bending the knees, working Samana. Exhale, straightening the legs, stabilizing the lumbar spine through an active core. Find the breath wave and the calming of the breath in this neutral position. Let's work the hamstrings again with an inhale. Right leg rises, and this time open the hip by pushing the hands deeper into the floor, using a rooting of your left foot to bring your hips out of the squared position, but keep the shoulders squared. Feel there's this slightly ringing motion going on throughout your torso And the stretch in the back of your left leg is not as intense as it would be with squared hips. Use this as a guideline when you practice on your own. Let's change sides, left leg rises through parallel. And then find the spiral as you open the hip, equally pushing through hands and right foot, neck is free. And reaching throughout your feet and hands with an active core as you breathe. With the next exhale, let the left foot descend again, finding the connection to your core and navel. Bending the knees with an inhale, with an exhale extending, letting the body find its own movement with the breath, and then come forward into plank, and with an active core, setting your knees down and either cross chins or parallel legs. Come forward on your mat as we prepare for our core section with the long stretched legs and a strong Samana container Khanda. So with an inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, integrate the shoulders, freeing the neck. Inhale here, stable midline. And with an exhale, roll back, down onto your back, bending the legs first. Arriving in your own space here, neutral pelvis. Both sides of your waist equally elongated. Integrated ribs. Mid-back sinking to the floor. And then with an inhale, bring one leg up. With the exhale, let the other leg follow. Bend the knees first if you feel like. Still checking if both sides of the waist are equally lengthened, so there's no quadratus lumborum involved. With an inhale from a strong core, lift the upper body, and with an exhale, let the legs drop out to your liking in stretch pose. And start challenging the back line by pointing with an inhale, and with an exhale, flexing your feet. Make sure you have stable support throughout your ribs for the back of your neck. Flow with your breath, and then with an exhale, release, drawing your knees towards your shoulders, and release the back side of your torso, the lumbar spine, the quadratus lumborum, by rocking gently from side to side or drawing small circles with your knees. And then come back up with an inhale. With an exhale, walk your feet in a little bit. You see my toes touching the floor, and come into Ardha Navasana, lifted throughout your spine. With an inhale, find the legs coming parallel, and with an exhale, release them for a moment. Keep the sternum lifted throughout, the shoulders wide and integrated, wide collarbones. And then take a hold of your lower shins. Inhale, straighten the legs, and with an exhale, bring them together. Flex the feet slightly if you feel like. Strong core, sternum lifted. Inhale, and with an exhale, gently setting the feet down, coming over the side. And arriving another time in Adho Mukha Svanasana, working the connection of heels and tailbone, an integrated core, and stable support from your arms without burdening your neck or base of skull. Savoring the breath wave as you move here. And then with an inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, draw the knee to your chest, stable shoulders, free neck. Hold here for another inhale, and with an exhale, step forward with your right leg. Knee over ankle. Extend one more time. Inhale, and with an exhale, set your left knee down so it can be directly underneath your hip. You see me correcting it here just a tad. You can bend the right knee in the beginning, finding the extension of the spine, and then slowly straighten your leg as we go into Adho Hanuman. So you see me feeling out the heel tailbone connection here by slightly bending with an inhale and straightening the right leg with an exhale. Flexing the right foot throughout. And then with an inhale, we go into a twist just to release the back. With an inhale, I turn to my right. With an exhale, I bring it down and forward again. Find the anterior spine long with an inhale, and with an exhale, come over your right leg. With an inhale, wave-like motion, isolate the torso, and with an exhale, find the extension. Come over your leg. Let's do this. Again, inhale here, exhale, shoulders rooting. Release over your right leg. And savor the stable legs and pelvis as you find the extension to work your leg even deeper. And then surrender here into the tension, letting it ease with your breath. Getting used to stay calm in tension, and with an inhale, come back up again. And with an exhale, gently bending the right knee, moving forward and coming over your side, back knee to knee. Setting your hands, working through the core, flex the feet, inhale here, exhale, regroup in downward dog. Allowing the head to relax. Lifting the heels with an inhale, bending the knees to find the core connection, freeing the head one more time. And then with an exhale, slowly straightening the legs, keeping the lumbar spine long and supported. And savoring your breath wave again. As we change sides with an inhale, the left leg rises. Free head. And with an exhale, draw the knee to the chest, shoulders over wrists. Hold out here for a moment, inhale one more time. And with an exhale, step forward. Find extension with an inhale. And with an exhale, gently setting the right knee down. Straightening with an inhale the left leg. With an exhale, walking the hands back. You may want to correct your knee. Finding the internal rotation in your right leg. Bending the left knee if you need to, freeing the head. And then getting used again to your feeling sensation of the connection between heel and tailbone. Maybe there's a slight push happening through your right lower leg into the floor. And with an inhale, come into the twist. Working the sternum forward, unfolding the body. And with an exhale, return front and center, setting the hands, elongating the spine, and with an exhale, relaxing the shoulders. Through the wave-like motion in unison with your breath, find the isolation of your torso. So with every inhale, there's this rounding and working forward, and with an exhale, there is this resetting of the shoulders, the long neck. The extension of your waist forward, and then the surrender over your left leg. Feel free to reset your hands to your liking so your shoulders are happy. And breathe into this long space that you've created, clearing out any tension, finding a calm, stable mind. And using your breath to work your heart again. In your imagination, over the top of your knee. With an inhale, come back up again. With an exhale, regroup your hands, gently bending the left knee, setting both hands on the inside of your left leg. There is this moment happening again. And then from hands and knees, return to the downward dog, savoring the newfound space, lifting the heels, bending the knees, working into the core. And with an exhale, finding these long lines of backside of the legs, strong and long lower back and free head. Savoring the breath wave, the unfolding of the spine with a stable and flexible leg support. Feel free to stay in the downward dog as long as you like. And then with the next inhale, come forward. With an exhale, setting the knees down. Let's come back forward again, one more time, to the seated position. Both legs in front, knees bent. And just make sure you're having a yoga strap close to you as we roll back down onto the floor for a final, very relaxing hamstring release. Your ribs are integrated, your pelvis is in neutral. Both sides of the waist equally extended. And then take your strap, unroll it. You see that I already have a loop here. And make sure that the loop is stable. So if there is some tension on the loop, it's not moving or opening. And place the yoga belt over your right foot. And allowing the buckle to be on the outside, so it's not disturbing you in any way. Bend the right knee. And then lift the head and allow the belt to come directly to your base of the skull. So there's no vertebrae crunching involved with the belt. Your ears are happy. And just make sure that you have a stable connection throughout your whole right foot in the belt. Feel free to keep the right knee bent if there's too much tension happening on the backside of your knee. But if your body allows for it, just extend the leg. Find an inhale again, and with an exhale, this beautiful hammock sinking into the stretch. Your left leg can be active, or as you see me doing here, completely relaxed. And then with a neutral shoulder girdle, I relax into the stretch. Breathing and allowing gravity, the belt, and my supta position to do the work as I breathe. I give a little push throughout the back of my head to draw my leg a little bit further down towards the floor. And otherwise stay focused on my breathing and this relaxed opening for my hamstrings. Feel free to go into a self-massage here, massaging the fascial component between your four hamstrings in the middle of the back of your leg. I draw it slightly apart, working my way up from my pelvis towards the back of my knee, finding a release as I do so. Giving myself also a release of my lower leg, and then returning again with arms passive on the floor. Savoring a full inhale and a releasing exhale. To come out, bend the knee first, integrate the shoulders, pull on your strap just slightly so you can move your head out of the belt. Remove the belt from your foot Maybe you want to circle it again. Keep the side of the waist extended as you bring your leg down with an exhale. And then just feel this releasing breath again. Maybe internally keeping track of the right and left side of your body. Maybe there's a shifting happening from left to right as the body integrates the work. And then bending both knees again. We change sides, putting the belt over the left foot. Just be aware that you may loosen up the loop or make it wider, depending on which side is tighter for you. And I go into the stretch again, making sure my neck is free. There's no compression happening at the atlas. It's an important energetical center, so it should feel very relaxed, really like a hammock, the resting here. And then straighten my right leg, flexing the foot again, just accessing the situation, so to speak. And once I feel that I'm working the back of my leg correctly without any pain to the back of my knee or neck, see me freeing up my jaw here. Over time, I can release the right foot. Feel free whatever suitable for you. Sometimes there's more stretching happening with an active leg. Sometimes it may be more beneficial to release the other leg that's on the floor. So trust your guidance and stay focused on the unfolding of the spine as you breathe. And if you're guided to do so, go into the self-massage. Freeing the center fascial components between your four hamstrings, working from pelvis towards the back of your knee. You can use the tip of your fingers. You can use a pushing and slightly pulling motion, as if you would draw the midline apart, freeing up the space. And maybe there's a release happening as you see here. After the self-massage, and I just let gravity do the work and relax completely. To come out of the pose, bending the left knee if you want to, pull on both sides of your belt equally, very gently, to free the head without any rocking or disturbance to your left leg. Keeping both sides of the waist equally extended, I let my left leg descend with an exhale and completely release into the floor, integrating the ribs, letting the mid-thoracic spine sink into the floor. Neutral pelvis, my lumbar spine hovering over the floor, SISs and pubic bone on one long line, and the long back of the neck. Allowing my body to do the work of integration. Feel free to stay here as long as you like to, but I just want to say goodbye to you, so I'm bending my knees, drawing them to my chest one more time, freeing up my head, making a small package, and with an inhale I gain momentum and come back up to sitting so I can say goodbye. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope you find this very, very useful for the major steps ahead in 2019. And I see you in the next video. Namaste.